Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to Drawing Down the Stars. I'm Snappy. It's a pleasure to be with you all here today on July 12th, 2024. How are you all? Let's give a good shout out to the chat here. Lisa, good to see you. Kit Kat, welcome. Glad to have you. Nikosmas, good to see you. Gandhi, Dorian Price, pleasure. Wow, it's a beautiful day today. An amazing day, and I'm so happy to be here with you all. Shout out to Carrie. Shout out to S Duck. Much love to Mother Rhea. Beautiful, beautiful to see you all here and to have you here with me today. So, to begin, let's talk a little bit about our astrology. We do have some kind of interesting stuff going on here with the astrology. When I was looking at it this morning, what I noticed is that we have this moon in Libra energy coming in, which is just beautiful. You know, Libra is that balance. It's about learning to move and flow, about being able to take things in stride and being able to move and reset ourselves. When Libra enters into this lunar energy, we have this deep, profound ability to learn how to balance our emotions, learn how to connect with ourselves in a way where we can flow and we can take things, right? We're moving from that analytical energy of the Virgo into this flowing energy of Libra. And it's really profound and it's deep. And we really want to embrace this. We still also have this deep Sun and Cancer energy, connecting to family, connecting to that emotional side, wanting to be in that deep, loving energy. Right now, too, we have Mercury and Leo coming in, which is amazing energy and really bright, confident energy in our communication, in our connections with others, right? This is a good time to be out into the world, projecting energy, trying to move things. We also have that same loving Leo energy, that powerful, confident energy in Venus. And Venus is that love sign. This is the time when we can really deeply connect to people. We need to be confident in ourselves and go out and pursue these kind of connections with others and radiate, be in balance and in flow, but embrace this bright confidence, right? And be honest with ourselves, project what we feel, and push forward. When I was meditating this morning and I was thinking about what I was going to call and talk about today's energy, I pulled the tarot card, the Tower, right? The Tower is often seen as the most intense energy, right, in the entire deck. It's that Aries energy embodied in full force, right? It's that energy of something coming and knocking you off your feet unexpectedly, but it's really important energy at the same time, right? I'm immediately thinking of this understanding of the nature of fire and the necessity to cull, right? To return back to our roots, to focus on our foundations, to be in flow. Sometimes you need to get rid of what's old and no longer working, right? The fire sometimes is a benefit to the forest because it will remove that old growth and allow new life to come in. Right? And we need to tend to ourselves in these moments, right? The energy I was getting is that this is a good, necessary change. It may be painful and somewhat unexpected, but it needs to be embraced and weathered, right? We need to learn from this moment and understand what our foundation truly is. Look to those beautiful people in our lives that are important, right? That weather with us no matter the storm. That is your foundation. That is your museum. That is where you need to be focused, right? Because that is the part that will sustain you. And you can always rebuild upon your foundation. Just because the tower falls doesn't mean that everything is lost, And this time we can remake it bigger and better than before with refined energy, with foresight, and the knowledge gained from our previous experience, And I wanted to read to you today a poem. So when I was thinking about this energy and was meditating on this, one thing I love to do is just go through various poetry websites. And I came across this really amazing poem called The Man with the Hoe by Edward Markham. And this is a really beautiful piece of poetry that people should engage with. And it was written after seeing a painting of a man tilling the soil. And it really made me think about returning to our roots, returning to those common people, and thinking about, our common toil and rejecting greed and returning back to our roots. So I'm going to read this for you. It really moved me. It's a bit long, but I know you'll all appreciate. Okay. The Man with the Hoe, Edward Markham. Bowed by the weight of centuries, he leans upon his hoe and gazes on the ground. The emptiness of ages in his face, and on his back the burden of the world. Who made him dead to rapture and despair, a thing that grieves not and that never hopes, stolid and stunned, a brother to the ox? Who loosened and let down this brutal jaw? Whose was the hand that slanted back this brow? Whose breath blew out the light within this brain? Is this the thing the Lord God had made and gave, to have dominion over sea and land, to trace the stars and search the heavens for power, to feel the passion of eternity? Is this the dream he dreamed, who shaped the suns and marked their ways upon the ancient deep? Down all the stretch of hell to its last gulf, there is no shape more terrible than this, more tongued with censure of the world's blind greed, more filled with signs and portents for the soul, more fraught with menace to the universe. What gulfs between him and the seraphim, slave of the wheel of labor? What to him are Plato and the swing of the Pleiades? What the long reaches of the pleaks of song, the rift of dawn, the reddening of the rose? Through this dread shape the suffering ages look. Time's tragedy is in the aching stoop. Through this dread shape humanity betrayed, plundered, profaned, and disinherited, cries protest to the powers that have made the world, a protest that is also a prophecy. O masters, lords, and rulers in all lands, is this the handiwork you give to God, this monstrous thing distorted and soul quenched? How will you ever straighten up this shape? Touch it again with immortality. Give back the upward looking and the light. Rebuild it in the music and the dream. Make right the immemorial infamies, perfidious wrongs, immedicable woes. O masters, lords, and rulers in all lands, how will the future reckon with this man? How will you answer his brute question in that hour, when whirlwinds of rebellion shake all shores? How will it be with kingdoms and with kings, with those who shaped him to the thing he is, when this dumb terror shall rise to judge the world after the silence of the centuries? Intense energy, but it's that Saturnian energy, right? The tilling of the land, that common love, the common man that'll rise again, right? The golden age reborn and equality restored. That is the prophecy, and something to think on and to think about. I highly recommend everyone look into Edward Markham, The Man with the Hoe. The painting is really beautiful that inspired it. He wrote that poem in 1898. And one of the interesting passages I read talking about the poem was said that it would be the cry of battle for 1,000 years. I believe so. All right. Beautiful, beautiful. We're now going to jump to our sortes. We're going to start with another great American poet, Edgar Allan Poe. And this is from The Tales of Edgar Allan Poe. All right. And for those of you unfamiliar, the sortes is a form of bibliomancy, that is divination through literature. And it comes to us from the Greco-Roman tradition. We ask the goddesses of inspiration, the muses, to guide our hand and to inspire us. We read a line out of context and we take that message with us forward. So muses, guide my hand. What is the inspiration? From Edgar Allan Poe. All right. I was astounded. The prefect appeared absolutely thunderstricken. I was astounded. The prefect appeared absolutely thunderstricken. This immediately makes me think of a lot of the magic associated with Bromios, the roarer, right? That thunder. Dionysus and Zeus have this title, so does Artemis. And there's a lot of speculation that this has to do with the mushroom, right? But either way, it's about being in that presence of power, being astounded, right? Being thunder stricken, you know, being just amazed in the glory and beauty of life. And I think that's the message. Sometimes we need to just stand back in awe and recognize that so much of awe and love comes from us, right? If you project it onto the world you see, you make it so. So be astounded. Beautiful. All right. We're going to hop now to Lorca, Three Tragedies. Federico Garcia Lorca is one of the greatest playwrights ever. I cannot recommend his book and his works enough. Specifically, my favorite is The Blood Wedding. This one actually contains The Blood Wedding, Yerma, and The House of Bernarda Alba. All worth digging into. All right. Muses, guide my hand. What is the inspiration from Lorca? All right. I feel like this is kind of wildly apt. The sisters enter and ask, "How are the fields?" The sisters enter and ask, "How are the fields?" What is our foundation? We need to return back to the earth, to those fields, right? A while ago, a friend of mine shared with me an amazing story. They told this story of initiation that they took in South Africa, where they engaged with a magical plant in a shamanic experience where they were gone through like a birth and a death ritual. And when they went through this birth and this death, they were confronted by the spirits of their ancestors. And the ancestors looked them in the eyes and they asked, what do I do with my life? What's my purpose? That was the cry of my friend. What's my purpose? What do I do? And the ancestors looked dumbfounded and said, "Where's your food come from?" My friend couldn't answer. And then the ancestors said, "Well, where does your water come from?" And my friend couldn't answer. And he said, "Well, where are your ancestors buried?" And my friend couldn't answer. Just something to think on. We've lost this connection to the earth and to who our ancestors are, right? Beautiful. Okay. We are now going to continue on our sorties to the Psychic Bible by Genesis Peorage and the Temple of Psychic Youth. This book was very informative in my early life, and it's one of the most important books for me personally, so this will be great. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from the Temple of Psychic Youth? All right. Like good objective laboratory researchers, we made notes, both on paper and recorded onto a cassette with the Sony Walkman I had with me. Oh, wow. This makes me think immediately of just advice I give people all the time. People are always kind of asking, how do I bring magic into my life? How do I engage with it? And the answer is always the same. Take notes, write a journal, be present in your life. You have to pay attention. You have to listen to the muses. You have to reflect upon what you have done. Be like a scientist. In my opinion, the best thing that ever came out of Crowley was just that, applying the scientific method to the pursuit of religion, But do this personally. Figure out what works for you and create your own magical process. But to do that, you have to journal. You have to reflect upon your dreams. You have to be present in the synchronicities. You have to talk to your friends about it, All right. That's the message from the Psychic Bible. All right. Yeah, for those of you, some of you may not even remember what a Walkman is, but yeah, that's funny. Cassette player, portable music device. All right. I remember after my first job when I was 16, I dropped my entire first paycheck on a Walkman, only to have it jacked at high school the next day. Oh my gosh, life. All right. We are now going to go to Ore by Gabriel Macari. And this is a beautiful book, really amazing alchemical literature. Highly recommend checking it out. All right. Muses. What is the inspiration from Ore? Okay. When one is no longer compelled to feel safe and walks freely and confidently, trusting in his or her own inner strength to go forward in defiance, not only do the false notion of fear disappear, but so does the demiurge and his nihilistic light. Wow. When one is no longer compelled to feel safe and walks freely and confidently, trusting in his or her own inner strength to go forward in defiance, not only does the false notion of fear disappear, but so does the demiurge and his nihilistic light. Be yourself. Be free to be yourself. Approach the world with love. You know, you'll be amazed how much that transforms the world around you. And I'm immediately thinking of Yoko Ono, one of the most powerful witches who ever lived. I don't care what anyone says. Everyone needs to check out Yoko Ono. She did incredible work. There's an amazing piece she has called Cleaning Pieces. And one of them tells you, just stop saying bad things and record it in your journal and see how that affects your life. Try it for 5 days. Don't say anything negative about anyone. Record what happens. Try it for a month. See what happens. You know? And learn to just be in flow with yourself. Learn to just accept what the world dishes out, you know? And also recognize that love and hate come in equal measure always. And those who succeed are always going to receive backlash. You know, it's really important that you learn to just let those things slide. Trust in yourself. Know thyself is what's written on the walls of Eleusis. Know thyself, right? Okay. We're now going to go to The Jaguar and the Priest, an ethnography of Zetzel souls by Pedro Pitarch. Beautiful book. Pedro Pitarch went to an indigenous community in Chiapas, Mexico, and spoke to people from the Zetzel language group and explored their idea of souls in depth. This is a really beautiful book. I can't recommend it enough. It's one of these books that's academic and not a lot of people engage with, and I wish more people would, you know? All right. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message? Okay. Without attaching too much importance to the dream, Zun Pin still needed to know more details. Wow. Right there, you got a beautiful, magical idea. We're just talking about journaling and reflecting upon things. And that's what you're supposed to do with your dreams. Without attaching too much import, you still need to know the details and write them down, right? It's that fun balance. You don't want to obsess over this kind of stuff, but you also want to reflect upon this stuff. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Wow. Love that message. Okay. We are going to go to Bullfinch's mythology. This is a really fun collection. I picked this up for a few bucks at my local thrift store, telling you different tales from, Aesop's fables all the way to the legends of Charlemagne. All right, let's have some fun. Muses, what is the message from Bullfinch's Mythology. Okay. When they heard from her who she was, they threw themselves at her feet and promised to obtain her pardon from the emperor. Wow. When they heard from her who she was, they threw themselves at her feet and promised to obtain her pardon from the emperor. Wow. I think the message here is an interesting one. I think what the muse is telling us is that when you learn to listen and you recognize the beauty, especially in that divine feminine, you will understand and you'll see her for who she is. And you'll see that the world in many ways is pitted against her. And you will understand her actions, and you will want to defend her. The world is kind of opposed in some ways to the divine feminine. And she needs to be seen and recognized and understood. You have to pursue and see that other, whatever that other is for you. And so often we are told to just stay in our lane, to stare at the wall. We need to perceive the beauty in everything. And when you listen to other people and you take them at their word and you understand their perspective, then you can know the truth. And most of us are just here for love and for growth and to survive. Love thy neighbor. I wonder who said that. All right, let us continue. We are going to hop to our final book, The Shape of the Will, or Shape of My Will, by my good friend, Graham Quinn. Graham and I have talked about this book at length. Please go check out that episode. It's worth digging into. Graham is an incredible poet. And I'm going to be getting together with Graham on Saturday. We're going to do a deep dive into the Hymn to King Helios by Emperor Julian. It's going to be wild. All right. Muses, guide my hand. What is the message from Graham? Inspire us. My soul is asphyxiating. I must break the hands gripping its throat. Wow. And I have trouble breathing in the moment when I read this. Isn't that kind of interesting? My soul is asphyxiating. I must break the hands gripping its throat. Wow. The message here for me is we have to allow the soul to blossom and to be free. You cannot let it be conformed and asphyxiated, gripped and held by the pressures of others, by the pressures of law, by the pressures of expectation, of shame and guilt, societal pressure, whatever baggage it is. We need to let loose the grip that's held upon us, that holds us back, and embrace ourselves. Pursue the self, right? Greater even so than the pursuit of truth is to know the self. And to know the self is to know the other, to see yourself reflected in the natural world around you, in the beauty of the world. All right. We are now going to do our Ganapati Ganesha Oracle. Ganapati is the Lord of the Ganas, right? Those mysterious spirits. He is the Lord of the thresholds, the one who guards the gate, the one you ask to send your words to the gods. Beautiful, compassionate energy. Ganesha, what's the message? Clear your energy. We received this one the other day as well. Clear your energy. I feel like so fitting with the theme of today, with the tower and returning to our foundation. We need to just let it go, right? Go take a bath, take a dip in the stream, go out into the woods, be under the stars. Think about the future. and let go of the past in this moment. Sometimes it's okay to forget, to let things lie, and to embrace the new. Okay. We are now going to do our Thoth Tarot. Okay. So this is that tarot of Lady Frida Harris and Aleister Crowley. And as always, we are going to do our Saturn Square, where we ask that God of wisdom and time and violence, Chronos Saturn, to dissect our life, to put it on the plate, to show us the interconnections, and to help us figure out how to best move and flow, how to evolve, and how to manifest our true will. Okay. As always, the center card is the most important. And today, our center card is victory. God, I'd love to see that, especially when I had that tower energy. What comes after the fall? That victorious return to form. Let's continue to see where this is going, right? The 6 of victory, right? 6 is the most balanced, the most powerful number in the Pythagorean number system. And in that fiery 6, this is manifesting your passionate desires, bringing things to completion, achieving your dreams. What do we have connected to it? Dominion, the 2 of wands, more profound wand energy. And with the dominion, what we get here is we can manifest our will. We have the power and the ability. We can push forward in any direction. The 2 is expanding energy, that's growing energy that wants to bloom, but it can go in either direction, right? To love or to violence. It's about how you direct the will. We've won. What are we going to do now? The ball is in your court. Let's see. Now, this is interesting. We have this profound victory. We have this incredible ability. And yet, our mind is manifesting defeat. Why? Why is that defeat here? Right? The 5s is about us moving from that balance of the swords, that truce energy, expanding our mind and moving beyond into defeatism, right? This is that energy of trying to push and to fight and failing to expand, failing to move beyond. Wow. You have that star coming down. All the swords pointed in. Everyone loses with this energy. So what I'm getting here is that we have this fiery, passionate success. We have this incredible power. But we view this as a defeat. What have we lost? Let's continue. There's much more going on here. There is deep pain with this victory. This is not an easy victory won. This victory, though, is leading to a whole new approach, new opportunities in the physical world, right? The Ace of Discs is this a profound, growing energy, building upon itself in a new way, new opportunities. We have that connected to this victory energy here. Wow. See what's happening on the other side. We're manifesting and returning to that foundation. We are reinforcing our walls, going back to that strong power base. The 4 of Discs, this is all about your foundation, family, those true loved ones, your home, your work, your core identity, your power base. And with this pursuit of the discs, this is about tending and maintaining, manifesting this beautiful energy. Yeah. And moving. After the fall of that tower, now it's about us donning our armor, moving in the direction we need to, right? And our direction is about building something new, building and creating a new opportunity. What I'm seeing here is this is new jobs, new direction, new focus, right? We're returning to that foundational energy after the fall of the tower, and we are building something new, and we are moving in flow, right? The chariot is that fire and water together, that Cancer energy, perfect for the sun in Cancer right now. And the chariot is about movement, about taking responsibility, about manifesting your will. Wow. Beautiful energy on the bottom. Okay, let's continue. What is this victory about? Wish fulfillment, connecting to that divine feminine, drawing down the stars, trying to connect to that divine goddess, right? This victory is coming about because you connected to that energy. You wished for this. You asked for this manifestation, for this transformation, right? And it is successful. You've done it. Wow. That's really profound energy there. Yeah. What did you ask for was loving abundance. Loving abundance. Committed friendship, right? The 3 is a small number, but it is overflowing in love, right? And it is going to grow exponentially. This is sometimes what I'm getting with this defeat. Maybe there was some loss here. And now we're looking and we're saying, I only have this many people or these kind of connections. But these connections are these aren't just any connections, you know. These are those pillars in your life, right? Those people who give and receive in loving flow, you know. And it's about recognizing this. Maybe even though you lost something, you gained something. Yeah, wow. Yeah, couldn't be more clear. All this love and pleasure and respect is coming in. That 6 of Cups, profound success and balance, right? All of these cups are in loving reciprocal flow. The issue with that is it's almost too good to be true, right? You almost get stuck in the energy. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. All right, before I flip my camera down and we take a look at our full square, I'm just going to please ask you all if you could give me a like and a subscribe. The likes really do make a big help in the algorithm. They do boost everything. It's a little blessing. It's good karma. It helps me out. Please, if you can. Also, if you are interested in a private reading, please send me an email, snappydts@gmail.com, or you can message me on the Myth and Lore Discord at Lady Snappy. All right. Let us tilt our camera and take a look at our full square here. Okay. We're going to start here. That 2 of Wands. What is it manifesting? What are we trying to bring about? What is our ability and our will doing? That power base. It's tending to that foundation, right? For some of us, this is building that foundation. For others, this is maintaining that foundation, right? But that foundational energy is where this passionate dominion is going. And it is also bringing in this loving abundance, right? That loving abundance is this power base, right? These cards are intrinsically connected, 3 and 4, right? 3 and 4 comes together to manifest the 7, the Great Mother. Wow. And, you know, this is about tending to these core relationships, about giving and being and receiving love with them, you know, maintaining our foundations, going to our home, to our work, to our lovers, our partners, our children, our parents, our grandparents, our ancestors, like the Sortes was reminding us. Beautiful. That's where our will needs to be directed, to these foundational energies. When we move here to our center and our victory, yeah, right? This is all a manifestation because we connected with that divine goddess, that feminine, and we wish for this. We asked for this victory, for this new direction, this new pursuit, and we are achieving it. And we are manifesting it. Right? It's powerful, powerful energy. This is the one that is interesting. That defeatist energy, right? What we see here is we are fixating upon the loss. We are fixating upon what came before the victory. We are not looking ahead with this energy, right? We need to embrace this energy of the chariot, which moves forward, which is building and going towards new things, right? We need to look around us and recognize that loving energy that we have surrounded ourselves with. You know, this defeat may have brought conflict and may have caused loss, but now you have pruned the tree. You are in loving flow with all those around you. This is not a defeat. This is about moving forward and letting this go. Embrace this pleasure in this moment and continue forward where you're going, taking responsibility, manifesting your dreams. Wow. Wow. All right, now let's do our crosses. Our first cross. Yeah. This pleasure, this victory, it's all about our foundation. It's about returning to that foundation, manifesting that foundation. Okay? So often we move out into the world and we want to expand beyond this core and we forget how beautiful this is, how profound this is, right? This is where your victory comes from. This is where your loving pleasure is. Tend to this, manifest this, be in this. The family is the key. The family is your castle, you know? Go back to that foundation. Wow. Yeah. And then when we're doing this cross here, how are we moving? How are we manifesting and growing? Where is that success taking us? It's taking us towards this loving abundance, you know? And this loving abundance is pushing us to grow and to take responsibility. This is such beautiful, profound, successful energy. Energy of just growth and movement, taking responsibility, building a new tower, overcoming defeat, right? Manifesting our will, achieving our dreams. We just need to let go of the past, forget about the defeats, focus on what is present in our life. The incredible pleasure, the incredible abundance, that power foundation. We have won. You have won. Beautiful. Now, this was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful reading. I hope it all spoke to you. I hope you feel invigorated, and I hope it was helpful. Okay. Now, for our final moment, we're going to do one last sortes. We're going to go back to the jaguar and the priest. Okay. Muses, what is the final message for our reading today? Inspire us. During his teachings, Zun Pen used to ask me jokingly, although with an element of seriousness, when his explanations to me would stay in a book. Wow. I think it's also the message here sometimes is to recognize where the teachings come from, and that can be in a book or can be in a real person, and that a book sometimes is a manifestation of a person's will and teachings, you know, and you can learn and engage with a person through a book. A book can invoke a spirit. It can connect you deeply, can transform you. You know, that is why I am so obsessed with literature. You know, that's why I do the sortes, because these are living beings with profound messages. Like, look, you know, A madman, I said, has done this deed. Some raving maniac. Maybe I'm just a raving maniac. Maybe that's the message. All right, everyone. Peace and love. Take care. I hope to see you at Lady Babylon tonight. Until tomorrow.